So it appears to be that the truck prices in the auctions are tumbling, and they're tumbling fast. So used truck markets are going down, and in this video what I've done, I've taken the latest results of the Ritchie Brothers Auctions and I'm putting it here on video. So let's dive into the information. So just to make this video a little bit shorter, I've only taken the Cascadias, I've taken the 2018s and 19s, but the same thing applied when I looked at the Volvos, when I looked at the Kenworths. All truck prices are going down, and they're going down fast. So if you're thinking of making that purchase, watch this video and hold off on your purchase, because you might just get a smoking deal in 2 or 3 months from today. So let's have a look in the latest auctions. So all the auctions I put together in December of 2022. I've taken the Ritchie Brothers Auctions. So we have one in Denver, Colorado, which happened in December 7th. We have one in Atlanta, Georgia, which happened December 1st. Columbus, Ohio, December 6th, and Minneapolis, Minnesota on December 8th. So the results of that auction, let's have a look at these truck prices. Now again, I remind you that when you see the prices here in the Ritchie Brothers Auctions, if you are going to be purchasing these trucks through a dealership, they're probably going to cost you about $20,000 or $25,000 more once the dealership does all the safety and their markup on these trucks. So approximately the markup on trucks at any given dealership, they're probably making anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000 per truck. But let's have a look at these auction results. So here's our first truck. It's a 2019 Cascadia. Now I'm only going to mention about 4 or 5 of them. The 2019 Cascadia with 950,000 miles, a little bit on the high side with the mileage, but sold for $35,000 US. Now let's take a more recent, a 2019 Cascadia with 446,000 miles, sold for $67,500 US. I want you guys to know that this exact same truck about 6 months ago would probably cost you about $100,000 US. So yes, the truck prices are going down, and with more results that we're getting and as time goes by, these prices are going down, and they're going down fast. We have another Cascadia here, a 2019 Cascadia with 558,000 miles, sold for $68,000. And then we have another 19 with 500,000 miles, sold for about $62,000. When you are purchasing these trucks, or if you are thinking of buying a truck, if you're a company driver thinking of becoming an owner-operator and are doing some research about these trucks, it is extremely important that you purchase these units with a battery pack APU unit or a diesel APU unit. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because I am working on a video on the difference and cost saving with a battery pack APU and a diesel APU, and what is the difference between the both of them. So make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. Now let's keep going with these auction results. So here we have a 2020 Cascadia with 828,000 miles, sold for $41,000 in Georgia. And then we have another one with the exact same mileage, 827,000 miles, sold for $41,000 US. So there you have it. You have the results of the auction for these Cascadias. The exact same rule applied. I would say probably in the last 6 months, each one of these units probably sold for about $10,000 to $20,000 less than they sold about 4 or 5 months ago. So it's huge decrease in truck prices. Now the same thing is happening with used trailers, used reefers. All truck manufacturers, their prices are also tumbling. So if I look at the Volvos, if I look at the Kenworths, if I look at any truck manufacturer out there, their units are falling also. For my Canadian friends, I've done the exact same thing here in the Canadian auction. So I took the December results. There was an auction in Edmonton, Alberta, and there was also an auction in Toronto, Ontario. And for those Americans that are thinking ever to buy a truck in Canada, and is it worth it to buy a truck in Canada, I must say that our trucks here in Canada are a little bit more expensive than what you guys can get them in the US for. So here's one, a 2019 Cascadia. So this one has 1.2 million kilometers, which is equivalent to about 700,000 miles. And this one sold for $70,000 Canadian, 51,200 US. And here's another one with 752,000 kilometers. This one sold, a 2019, the blue one. This one sold for 95,000 Canadian, which is equivalent to 70,462 US. So the exact same thing is happening here in Canada. The prices of these trucks are going down, and they're going down fast. Also, probably if I look back 4 or 5 months ago, the exact same trucks sold for about $20,000 more 4 months ago than they are selling right now. So what does 2023 hold? Well, I truly believe that in Q1 of 2023, the truck prices are going to go down even more. I think that at least another 10 to 15% over the next 3 or 4 months. Now, I see more and more on my news feeds these trucks or people trying to sell their trucks. So the 2017s and the 2018s, they're going to fall down the most. The 19s and 20 are still going to retain their value, but they're also going to drop in price. Now, as people are going to get more and more desperate, they will start decreasing the prices. And guess what? Things are going to go back to normal, where you see a truck, you can actually bargain for them. These dealerships have all lost their minds over the last year. Literally, there was no room for negotiation. You want it, you take it. Markup on these trucks when it was extremely busy was just outrageous. Literally, for every truck being sold at a used truck lot, there was about 10 buyers for it. So they literally dictated the price and they could do whatever they want. Now, when you are buying a used truck, guys, very, very important, you use this link over here to get your financing. Why? Because I've connected about 4 or 5 different finance companies that are going to give you the best rates out there. Whatever you do not go with the recommended finance company of the dealership. And if you are gonna go with the recommended financing of the dealership, make sure you are comparing their rates with this link over here. This link over here is literally going to take you about 15 seconds to fill out. You'll get a couple of finance guys to come to call you and give you the best financing options available, whether you're in Canada or in the US. If you have good credit or bad credit, it doesn't matter. They will give you competitive rates. And now you can, with those rates, you can either choose to go with them, or you can go back to the finance company that you're dealing with or that the recommended dealership and say, this is what I'm getting. Let them match it or use somebody else. Make sure these finance companies are competing with one another for your business. Guys, make sure you follow along with this channel, because I'm starting to do this probably every second month, where I'm giving updates on the auction. So if you haven't seen my video from 2 months ago that I did about the auction results, make sure you're clicking this link over here and follow along, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel, so when I do another one in 2 months, that you'll be notified.